Welcome to House Culture Conversations. It is good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday. Conversations. It is good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And our guest, I think, is slipping on in here. So, what do you say? We open it up. Rick, aka Yuri K. How are you?
I'm good, brother. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. It's
You
good
can't
to
see
see
me though.
we can't see you.
It's dark. I gotta find some lights. Hold on a second. My fault,
You
brother.
bet. You bet. You just coming off a set. Keith Mack, I see you. Welcome on in. Rick, aka Yuri K, with us tonight. Midas Retouch, the Witness Protection Plan. Yes, he is finding some light. Yes, indeed.
You know what? It's weird. It's picking up my other light, not my computer light. So I just need to switch it around. We Gucci. Shit. Thanks, brother.
Technology, technology. Welcome on in, everybody. We are live as Rick, aka Yuri K, gets himself set, coming off the ones and twos. Breeze DBL, how you feeling? Midas Retouch, Keith Mack
It is.
joining. Hey, hey, look at that. We have found him. He is here. How are you?
Good, brother. How are you?
Good, Miss K Love, welcome on in. We are just getting set up and getting ready to have a great conversation with the man himself, my fellow Mendel Monarch.
85. You already know blue smoke all day.
Blue, blue smoke. Now, the interesting thing now that we're on Twitch, that we have to explain some of these things. So tonight we're gonna have to walk them through some of that. But again, how are you?
I'm amazing, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Gratitude for having me on. Uh, Given the people you've had on here, I am humbled that you reached out to me, and thank you.
Hey, I appreciate that. And, for folks listening, Miss K Love, if I didn't say hello, I'll say hello now. And if I did, never a problem saying hello to you two times. But with that, we created this show, for us. There's shows out there for the VIPs and other folks and things like that. Not obviously they come through here periodically, but we wanted all the folks to have access to this platform because how it's changed so many lives and was so impactful. And so we just wanted to have that place where we all could share our love of the music and the culture. So tell us a little bit about you and where you're from.
Oh, okay. All right. So, born and raised Southside,
Southside.
111 Peoria, Wild Hunnets represent. Um, with if go way back, went to Kickapoo Kindergarten on 110th and Halsted, Grammar School, St. Catherine's Genoa, 117th and Low. Then, of course, Mendel. After that, then U of I, Chicago. Uh, After that, then just got into the working world and everything that happens with that, and that was it.
Yeah. So now, did you come from a musical family?
Absolutely not. Parents. So I'm first generation American. My parents both immigrated to the United States from Haiti. So the musical culture in the house was way unique. It was a lot of. My mom was a huge Elvis fan. Dad loved like Andy Williams and stuff like that. Just weirdness, right? Like Christmas albums that you just don't know, or the rest of them were just straight Haitian culture music, like straight Haitian. But as an American youth, you're not into the music of your parents, so you want to
Mhm.
know all the local stuff. But all I'm listening to is Barry Manilow, uh, Elvis, Benny and the Jets type of music. So, but once funk came around and Parliament Funkadelics, House Out. Uh,
We ran into
last,
a little audio challenge. We missed a lot of that.
all right. Which part? know,
Yeah, we caught the Benny and the Jets. We caught that you
so
listen to Benny
Benny
and the Jets.
and it was, just a lot of different music, but I got a lot of music from people around me. Uh, and I was saying Mike Hampton grew up around me and used to date one of my neighbors. So he'd be walking down the street with his boombox playing Parliament Funkadelic. And so you get a lot of different music. Cat on Twitch, Invictus 06 had a set up in his garage. So that's what kind of got me into music back in the day, like back in the early 80s before Mendel.
Yeah. Now,
And
when
then
did you try start getting into DJing?
so there was a thing. There was not a so I moved to Springfield, Illinois from Chicago in late 90s. And there just was not a presence of music that I was used to. So I had to do something to fulfill my need for music, right? So I was a speaker head. I was a cat that was at Mendel. I was at the parties. I was by the speakers. I was dancing. I was trying to get in the clubs, et cetera, et cetera. DJing back in the day was never on my radar. I got into it because here there was not that. And I just if I couldn't hear it, I had to play it. So
Hmm.
I got into it, playing it. Was fortunate enough to meet a lot of people, just being on the circuit a lot and just meeting folks that were in the industry here, and they allowed me an opportunity, be it on a Tuesday or Wednesday or just not the busy nights, but just to give me a chance to play stuff. And given given that this is the state capital and you have a lot of state reps that are from up north, house out to Ken Duncan, who was, I knew him before his political career. And when he was here and we were, gelled up, he was just like, Rick, just do it. Just play it and, play it and they will come. And, I started doing it here and it just worked out.
So that is interesting. You got into DJing out of necessity.
Bruh, out of sheer necessity. Like there was like for no other reason. Like I'd be more than, and they've had some bangers here, and I love, I partied so much back in the day. So I don't know if you remember brother James who ran a cross country team back in the
Uh-huh.
day.
Yeah.
So I ran cross country freshman year, and uh he ran a coach at parties, and so they let us as as students work the coach checks. So I was able to work every coach check party. So I'm at every party, every bi-level, every was it the talent show that was amazing. You're right, the Mendel talent show. So I was at, if there wasn't a weekend I wasn't at Mendel, I don't know where I was. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
talking from
That's
81
it.
to 85. I'm at Mendel every weekend. There's a party, either working it or hanging out. Da da da. So it that that just you just get schooled that way. Never did the original warehouse. Never did power plant, music box, none of that. But if you was south side, Mendel was all you needed.
Yeah,
And,
you're right about that. Mender was
and
all you needed. Every weekend there was something
every
going on. We're hanging out with Rick, aka Yuri K, and wow, House Culture Conversations. We're in full effect. DJ Chill, we see you. Big blessings and love
DJ
to
Chill,
you.
what's up, baby?
That's it. That's it. DJ Paco D from Italy hanging out with us.
Paco,
SpongeBob Dave, what's good? He's on tomorrow. Everybody go out and support SpongeBob Dave. I think he's on 10 o'clock Eastern, if I got that right. If not, let me know. It's either 10 or 12, something like that. But anyway, SpongeBob Dave, put that in the chat so we know where to catch up with you tomorrow. So we can't, that's my jam. I see you. We can't skip over Mendel
you can't.
because for a lot of folks, when we talk about house coming from Chicago, it really is this. There's a lot going on, right?
Yes,
There's, to your point, there's the warehouse, there's Frankie Knuckles, and that stuff is on there. And for us, we weren't old enough to get into those parties,
absolutely.
so it wasn't until it came to Mendel. And it was an evolution because when I'm 84, you're 85, so when I
Right.
was a sophomore going to my junior year, we weren't really listening to what we would call house. We were listening to punk out. We were
Yep.
listening to, calling
Rock
all
Lobster.
girls, Rock Lobster. There was a lot of that stuff going on. And it was later that this kind of surge of what was called house, the first house record, Colonel Abrams, and all of
Yes.
those things are happening. And when that happened, we like that solidified it because we lost our minds because the party it was amazing, right?
Yes.
Because the atmosphere at Mendel was incredible.
Especially
And
especially if you went to Mendel,
oh yeah,
because that was
yeah.
your home ground.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, and then you talked all week long about the party, and then right around Thursday, you start figuring out how you was going to enjoy this upcoming weekend. And all of the majors came through Mendel. Mendel, a Catholic high school. We had Knuckles, we had Ron Hardy, we had
Yes.
a lot of the DJs, and you saw more of them than I did.
Yes. Well, probably about as much. Uh, and I, Mendel was Mendel, and
Hmm.
for me as a kid, because I was a kid back then, it was just a party, and it was just the best party you could find. That, like you said, you can get to when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, and your parents will allow you to go because you're from the school, but it's the best party on the South Side writ large. Like, you couldn't
Yeah.
find a party better than Mendel back then. You couldn't find better DJs that they were bringing back then. So it was amazing.
Yeah, and it's just hard to describe. And I can imagine when you left and went away from that scene, it was really hard, right? It's like
So,
to your point, out of necessity, you had to start playing your own music.
well, I graduated 85, went to UIC, and I pledged my freshman year, house out the Alphas, 858 all day. Um, had to do it, brother. But so from there, I went from partying at Mendel to partying at frat parties, and they were all pretty much house based. So you think of
Yeah,
IIT parties, the Thanksgiving parties at IIT were
yeah,
amazing, right?
yeah.
The DJs they had there, or the parties at DePaul that we did at Northwestern, they all had house
Hmm.
DJs. So there was never a disconnect to me personally from the house community. It just went from high school to college. I was too young to get in the club, so never was a Heroes or a Chick Ricks or Sawyers at that point in time. But when I got old enough, when I turned 21, which was 87, 88, even later, then you start going to these clubs, and you start, doing what I was doing in Mendel, right? Which
Yeah,
was amazing parties, amazing DJs, and just having fun. Then, you know, years later, I moved to Springfield in 98, and it doesn't exist here. There's just not that venue. There's not that opportunity. So,
yeah. DJ Chill said those IIT parties were bananas.
brother, them IIT parties were insane. And, the Alpha Neuro did the IIT parties. So there was like an Alpha reunion. So if you went home for Thanksgiving, you were going to IIT. You were going for that party. And being an Alpha, it was like, man, this is our party. And the music, they had the two rooms, and they were just, it was amazing. And it was, but it was house. It made sense. And
It
you
made a
fast
whole
forward
lot
to
of
where I'm at
sense.
now. And now, I just try to bring that to Springfield. And there's some cats here, some local cats in Central Illinois, who are doing big things. A lot of them are from Chicago, migrated to the area. Bloomington had a crew. Peoria pit crew DJs. You had John Davis Jr. on, amazing, who by all accounts single-handedly brought house music to Peoria. I've done my part to bring it to Springfield. My guy Harold, some cats from Wisconsin, Philo, who was in Jacksonville now, but was from low end in Chicago. And it's just it's Farley said, the minute you think you're bigger than your music, you're done, right? I'm about pushing house music and just the culture of house music to wherever I am.
That's it. That's it. Now, why do you think house has continued to thrive and eat from? You think about when we were in high school and think about where we are now. I mean, I don't even know what Frankie would think about where we are now with house. But what are your thoughts? Why is it just so just continuing to thrive?
I think house is the equivalent of our parents' music as it related to R&B or other cultures that related to rock or country from the parent standpoint, right? Like house for us, anybody that's a house head, the average house head, true house head is probably over 50 right now, right? Because we all came up in the 80s listening to it. And if their kids are exposed to it, etc. So if you think of like Chosen Few or Silver Room or back in the day, Winter Music Conference, sorry about that, the average age of those events were exponentially higher because it just continued up. And you now have, I mean, you look at Chosen Few DJs, how many are under the age of 59, right? It's just the age,
Yeah.
but the music is so great and it continues. And so it's resonated, you know, through generations, you know, fortunately and luckily. Like at the end of the day, I'm looking to book a gig at a retirement home because it's gonna be old cats in there and they want to listen to house music.
That's the final for all you house DJs. That's the final stop. All of the retirement homes,
Look,
y'all gonna be
we're
in there
DJ for
playing.
food. Like I'm good. You know, but
That's too funny.
it's just, you know, it house music just resonates with people, and
Yeah.
the flow of it and the dynamics of house is so, it varies so much. You know, when I used to do WMC, Winter Music Conference in Miami Beach a lot, and I had never gone when I first went. The first time I went, after that, I never stopped going till it changed. But it changed more in the EDM and it got way younger. But you know, when you were going when it was in its prime, it was just older cats having a good time. And you know, and that's the thing. House is about just enjoying it and enjoying the moment, having a great time, enjoying the music. And you know, and I love that. And I think that's why house is sustained, you know, to the degree it has, is because it's just great music and the vibe. It's about the vibe is always amazing in house music.
Hey, you're hanging out with us on House Culture Conversations, and we're spending time with Rick, aka Yuri K, and having a time. Thank you guys for vibing with us. Antoine Roberts, we see you. Thanks for joining us. Rick, aka Yuri K, what's in the name? Where's all that come from?
You going way back. All right, so we'll do a short deep dive. So in my previous life, uh, after I graduated from UIC, did a stint in private industry, then became a state trooper. So I retired from Illinois State Police as a senior master trooper in 2019. Prior to that, my career was in down here in intelligence, dealt with a lot of stuff dealing with that. So long story short, it was around the time of Dateline when they're doing all this stuff about uh, cats getting online and trying to find kids and all that nonsense. So I go to training, blah, blah, blah. I set up a page because we're in training. And so the page, I just needed something so we could do access in class. I
Mm.
had a because that's when MySpace was huge and taking over the country. And I had to create a page, and I just picked a fictitious name, which is Yuri Kolishnikov, if I remember correctly. And I just needed it for the class. Then I set up a Facebook page on that for work so I can do stuff and it's not associated with me. And then somehow it just took over my personal persona and I just started using it as my personal page. So I shortened it to Yuri K. I started DJing from a cat, Paularama, who sold me his Gemini CD J system and his salsa collection because he was DJing salsa. So when I started DJing salsa out of nowhere, music out of nowhere, and I just I just acquired the name, and I kept the name Yuri K under Facebook. And so there are people, and as just time went on, and Facebook just took off, I just didn't go through the process of changing it to make it whatever my who I was. So I just kept with that, and then it just went, added folks, got going, and then I just adopted it as my DJ name. So Rick, aka Yuri K, and went from there. So Yuri K is just a fictional name out of nowhere. It has nothing to do with me whatsoever. It just this just how it worked out, and I just went with it.
Now that has been one of the most interesting explanations for where a DJ handle comes from. So you get the prize on that one.
Thank you.
So now, what are some of your more memorable house stories? If you think back, whether it was Mendel or whether it was being, even being down there in Springfield and Peoria, what are some of your memorable moments?
I obviously is from Mendel, they're just parties, right? Just remember the floors, the walls sweating, like being outside in the winter and seeing literal smoke coming off the walls because the party was that packed. Like I remember it was Ron.
We lost you. We lost you.
He came out either with you or a year before you, and his parents were Haitian, so we used to go to their crib all the time.
Now,
And he
what was
had
the
12.
name again? You cut out a little bit. What was the
I'm
name
sorry,
again?
Eric Brady.
Okay.
He came out either in 83. So I used to go there, and he the
Uh-oh,
when
you're
he
locking up. You're locking up more and more.
sorry about that, brother. I don't know why. Let me try to turn something off. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you now. John
Right.
Davis Jr., we see you.
JD. So yeah, Eric Brady. I used to go to his crib, and he used to like have records and play music. And I was a comic book nerd, right? I was never like I was a speakerhead, bro. I was never into DJing. That was never my thing. I just wanted to go to a party and party. Like I said, coming here out of sheer necessity is what got me into playing music, and fortunate enough to meet and be it out enough to meet owners and bartenders and managers where they allowed me to play my segment of music, be it house, be it old school hip hop. I was not about playing current, anything you hear on the radio, you hear on the radio. I just wanted something that if anybody that wasn't from here could go and listen and find it and appreciate it from a musical standpoint. Because when you're from a bigger city, you're used to more music. You're used to a realm of music. And I think when you're from a smaller town, they just play what's hot on the radio, what's top 40, what's this, what's that.
Yeah.
So, and every like, oh my God, down productions,
Oh,
or oh my God, you're playing da da da. It's not for everybody. So, but it's I used to have a thing saying brick by brick, we will build this house, and that was the concept. Just bring house and let people enjoy it, or just give them an avenue. And I found that here doing brunches or doing more day parties and day events, and just things that aren't nightclub type situations, because house is
well,
a perfect vibe for daytime, for lounge, for rooftops, etc.
absolutely. Cabasso LV, we see you. DJ Slim C, welcome on in. House Culture Conversation. And Rick, we have missed some of your conversation going in and out due to some technical challenges on your end with your audio. But, I think we get the gist of it. Very, very incredible story how, house wasn't something that you were into from a DJ perspective, but that over time, out of the necessity, you kind of picked it up. Now, when did you get into streaming, and what's your thought on this whole streaming environment?
So streaming and house out to Fathom DJ because he had reached out. I was planning on, so once I retired and my sleep habit, and I think I was doing Instagram live as well, and Fathom reached out and was like, hey, she was getting a crew together because she had a spot in Atlanta, Parlor Den she was opening, and she just reached out across the country and had different DJs to get on there. So I was on, and that was my first introduction to Twitch at the time. And that's when it was blowing up. You know, it
Oh,
wasn't like the established.
yeah, we are catching every other word, Rick, or should I say Yuri K, or I guess it all works, but we are catching every word, other word. So you're breaking up pretty bad.
Terrible. Sorry,
Yeah,
brother.
I don't. That's quite all right. I don't know if there's anything you can do for that, but when are you on? When can people check you out?
I am on Friday mornings from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Rooster
Mhm.
City. Uh, I usually play unless Thursday nights get a little out of control, and I cannot. Uh, and it was always set up just people who were up early getting ready for work. And that was the whole point of the show. So cats that got to be up at 6 or got to be up at 5, had to work and in traffic or whatever Chicago scenario, and so they could play, recognizing that from a world perspective, I'm playing at different times all over the globe. But my point was to play for people who just up early and just got to get ready for work, have a good time, and listen to some music.
That's fantastic. Hey, well, everybody, make sure you check out Rooster Sessions on Friday, 6 a.m. to 8. Now, one of the questions I have for you: where do you think house has been so popular? Where do you think it's going?
Um, if you look at the progression over the years, right, I think it's on a steady course. And I just think if from an age point, house music is geared to a particular age range.
Mhm.
And if youngins don't get into it, the older and older it gets, you know what I mean? It's just like it's gonna cycle at some point. So I always love seeing young cats that are DJing, that are doing stuff. But if you look at us, right? Me, you, the Deweys, the John, we all
I think he's saying we need to make sure these young cats get
right.
in on this music. Hmm.
It and it's because we listen to our parents' music. Like my nephews, who are one's late 20s, one's in his teens, as big as a house head as my sister is, house out the Haitian Shy. I don't. They're not in the house music like me and my sister were, right? So it becomes a question of, is it going to pass to the next generation of people? Because like you look at Chosen Few, you look at Silver and Block Party, average age of those events are old. So then where does it transition to the younger generation? And that much I do not know.
Well, hey, that's an interesting perspective. I've heard both sides of that coin, where some say the younger generation is coming up strong, and so the future of house looks strong. And then I think I've heard the other perspective as well that has said, hey, we're getting older and older, so
We are.
eventually this becomes that music, right? Just like
right.
R&B for our parents
Or
or what have
jazz
you.
or
Hmm.
all that. Yeah, absolutely. But
And then and then
who
go
knows?
ahead.
No, I'm just saying, but who knows? Like
Yeah.
time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. Now, I happened to catch you doing a set. Was it early this month or was it I'm not sure what it was, but it was a all Haitian raid train. You, Philippe the Haitian, forget who else was on the raid train, but it's celebrating the
You cut out
Haitian
again.
New Year. I cut out.
I know you said
Now everybody's hearing me, right? If you're in the chat and you're hearing me, I'm okay. Just give me a thumbs up. I think you're cutting out, and then when you cut out, you can't hear me either.
I can hear you now though.
You got me. What I was saying was, I think I caught you on a raid train. It's a Haitian New Year.
Haitian house heads, yes.
Talk about that,
So
or not, or not. What's happening? There we go. I think you're coming back in. Hey, we're with Rick, aka Yuri K, and we're running to some intermittent audio on his side, but he is answering the question. I asked him about the Haitian raid train celebrating Haitian New Year. DJ Sarabi, how are you? Good to see you. Do we have you back?
I think we're back.
There you go.
You got me. All right,
Hmm.
there you go. All right,
Yep.
Philip the Haitian. So met Philippe on Twitch, just in different rooms. He knew I was Haitian. I was Haitian. So he came up with a concept of doing a show, Haitian House Heads, which was all Haitians, all DJs. So it was I think the original was myself, Philippe, Solutions NYC, Christo UK, Hard Hitting Harry, York.
Once again, we're having some intermittent audio
Black Rover,
on. There you go. We got you back.
with some Haitian DJs he knew, across, and it worked out, and we just do it every year. We've done it, and we just try to bring on.
Design Works, welcome on in. Good to see you. Thanks for vibing with us. We are trying to navigate some audio challenges with Yuri K. Hey, Yuri K, thank you. It has been incredible just to learn about your journey and your background. And, the interesting thing is, you became a DJ out of the necessity to enjoy the music that you love so much. And we appreciate your contributions and hey, we look forward to seeing more. And we'll be hanging out in the Rooster sessions early on Friday mornings.
Yes, brother, appreciate you, and you hit me up on that fam tram. I'm good for that. So
Okay,
whatever you
well,
need,
hey,
brother.
so there you go, everybody. We're going to have Rick kick off the Fam Tram Express on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. So make sure you show up on Tuesday and come check him out. Maybe he'll play some interesting things some different flavors, some Haitian vibes for us and take us there. Uh, we
Now
would
you put
love
me on the
that.
map. Okay, okay.
Yeah, hey, we would love that, but we appreciate you so much, brother. We need to take this party somewhere. I don't know if you have anyone in mind. Mm, 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 mm.
You
I
cut out.
am taking. Oh, okay. I was just saying we're gonna raid out anybody in particular. Mm, mm, mm. I am looking. I am looking. All right. You know what?
Jerome is on.
Okay, I see
Uh,
Jerome.
Dennis Gregory's on.
Dennis, where shall we go? You have
Freckles
the
is on.
con. Freckles
You
is
know,
on.
you know what, man? Like I'm a oh shit. I was like DJ D Dot's on. I've been a fan. I've been a fan on Twitch of going to people who have like low viewers.
Okay,
Like I like to indulge them and get them some people in, because I have found there are some DJs out here, brother, that are cold as hell that we've never heard of. Right, absent Twitch, and you can go. So you think like the
we hit the audio. Hit the audio. Well, we will wait for him to come
Midas
back
T
on.
Touch.
So where are we going? Because your audio is
So I like and I just like supporting cats that I don't know.
yes. Well, where shall we go? Because your audio keeps cutting on us. So
Gosh, my apologies. I would go. Of course, I'll go with Jerome.
all right, everybody, sit tight. Hold on. Let me take you there, and we are going to go vibe out with I am DJ Jerome O.
Appreciate
Do
you,
you know?
brother.
Do you know if that's a O or a zero at the end of the name? I think it's a O, right?
That might be a 0.
You think it's a zero? Let's see. We're gonna find out. We're gonna try to raid. Hey, thank you
See what
guys so much for vibing with us on House Culture Conversations.
what happened
We
to Dewey?
What happened to Dewey? Dewey is making the cuts. I was talking to him the other day, and he was like, "Man, I've been really, focused on the production and some things he wants to, get going." And so, we may have to, get him back on the floor. Let's see if
Hey,
it's a zero. We're gonna see if it's
hey,
a zero.
it's an honor being on with another monarch, brother. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Hey, well, listen, folks, we are headed to I am DJ Jerome. Oh, thank you guys so much for vibing with us. I know we had some audio challenges, but it's always a fantastic time whenever we hang out with the fam, no matter what challenges. So let's go in, knock down the doors, and let DJ Jerome know we're in the house. Once again, Rick, aka Yuri K, signing off. We'll see you soon.
Appreciate you, brother. 06 Blue Smoke.
Blue smoke.